Hello and welcome to the MMAVCAST. I am your host, Maverick King. I am joined on the other side of the universe by my kid brother, Remington King. We're going to be talking about and predicting the UFC 2012 and what will happen in that year. And of course, we're going to really quick break down what we predicted last year. We did not post a video of it, but we did post it on the interwebs, so it is out there. I really don't care if you believe us or not, but these were our 2011 predictions. Remy, what were you predicting for 2011?
My predictions were all pretty bad for the most part, so I don't really need to get into the details. But just go over real fast. I did predict who I thought would and would not be champions. I predicted that Dominic Cruz, Mr. Cain Velasquez, and Jose Aldo would not be the champions by the end of the year. But I predicted that Frankie Edgar, GSP, Anderson Silva, and Shogun would. As we can all tell, I wasn't exactly right. I was like three for four or whatever. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have a better year.
Indeed. Well, unlike Remington, my predictions were awesome and amazing. I predicted Aldo, Edgar, GSP, Silva, and yes, those guys would still be champion, and I was pretty much right, kind of. And Velasquez, Shogun, and Cruz would not be. So pretty much right on those ones. I predicted that an episode of Tough 13, Lesnar, Dos Santos, would have a better rating than Jersey Shore and a Jersey Shore episode, and that was wrong. That season did not get good ratings for whatever reason. I think it's because no one really knew at that point who Junior Dos Santos is. I predicted that Anderson Silva would not fight GSP that year because there was a lot of rumors at that point that that fight was finally going to happen. I predicted it would not happen. I said it was going to be because Anderson Silva did not want to fight out of the division. Turns out GSP didn't want to fight out of his division. I predicted that Fedor would not even make it to the title fight of the Strikeforce Grand Prix. And yeah, he lost in the first round. And then the best prediction, and I really don't care if you guys believe me, but this is a fact. I predicted that a UFC event would air on NBC, Fox, or ESPN, and there you have it. So you're welcome, Dana White, because if I didn't say it, probably wouldn't have happened. All right, let's move right into our predictions for 2012. These are what we think are going to happen this year and this year alone. And yeah, let's get into it. First prediction, number 5, I predict that Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, GSP, Bones Jones, and Junior Dos Santos will all remain champion in their respective divisions. Now, GSP, obviously, there's a discrepancy there because there's going to be an interim, but I don't believe in interim champions or championship belts. So GSP will still be the champion after his one fight defending it. Okay, and then I believe that Chael Sonnen will defeat Anderson Silva, or Anderson Silva will just stay injured for a long time and he'll get an interim championship that doesn't exist. I think he even would admit that. And Melvin Gillard will be a lightweight champion because he is one of the greatest talents that I've seen in the lightweight division in a long time. Yeah, that's mine.
All right. Well, I predict that Dominic Cruz and Anderson Silva will not be champions, but Aldo, Edgar, GSP, John Jones, and Junior Santos will all still remain the champions. I don't see anyone taking their stuff from them anytime soon.
No idea what you said at the end there. Don't really care. Forrest Griffin, Rich Franklin, Tito Ortiz, Vanderlei Silva, BJ Penn, and Matt Hughes will all retire, or they will have their final fight in the UFC and be forced out, or just fight somewhere else.
I predict that Chael Sonnen will win and defend the middleweight title.
Indeed. And if you ask Chael, he'll tell you he's already defended it, but, we all know. Number 3, and I have 3 predictions right here for Brock Lesnar, or involving Brock Lesnar. With the absence of Brock Lesnar, the only UFC card that will garner 1 million pay-per-view buys will be Sonnen and Silva 2, if it happens this year, which I think it will. And I think that we will not hear or see from Brock at all. He will disappear. We'll never even hear from him this entire year. And even Brock Lesnar's haters will miss him. Don't say you won't.
I predict Cain Velasquez will go 1-1, and that loss will be to Frank Mir. Call me crazy, but I believe Frank Mir will come and take advantage of Cain's recent loss, and he will find a way to win and defeat Mr. Velasquez, and then Velasquez will have a comeback against some loser opponent and will destroy that guy. And yes, that is my prediction on that.
That is a crazy prediction. I mean, if Frank Mir won, that'd be awesome, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, next prediction. Some jerk will label John Jones America's fighter. It's destined to happen because he really is like the only American that's a champion, except for Edgar and Dominic Cruz, but they don't really count. I think that someone, ESPN, who knows who, someone's gonna try to throw that America's fighter in there, because you have Canadian champion, Brazilian champion, all these different guys. Someone's gonna do it, and it just is gonna annoy me to no end because mixed martial arts isn't a country sport. It's a global sport. Well, it's a long rant, but that's my prediction.
I predict Mr. Alistair Overeem will have a nice decline, and he will lose badly to Mr. Dos Santos. And then he will also fight another person whom I do not know yet, but he will also lose to that because he'll get exploited as a pretty darn lame fighter. And yes, he will go 0-2 in 2012.
Oh man, that is hilarious. I do agree. I think he will lose to Junior Dos Santos. I don't think that he'll be exposed as a terrible fighter, but that's kind of funny. And my last prediction is that Fedor's opponents and the UFC flyweight division will both suck. And needless to say, there really isn't anyone out there for Fedor to fight, so that's why they will suck. And the UFC flyweight division will suck because guys throwing leather around at 125, just there won't be that many explosions. I think there'll be a lot of these sparring sessions that everyone think is amazing. I just don't think there's going to be that much power, and I think it's going to take some time for this division to build up and flourish. Demetrius Johnson being in the division, I think is great, but at the same time, I don't think we're going to see any real talent like, we won't see any Jose Aldos, and then 125, at least not this year, and I think it's going to be a long year for a very boring division.
Yes, quite. Definitely agree there. And I predict that the Bellator Fighting Championships will get absolutely nowhere, and they will still be producing fighters that are just borderline not that good. And I don't really have any respect for Bellator that much. And that's about all I care about Bellator. I think they're going to get nowhere, so yeah.
Oh, that is funny. Well, that does it for our 2012 predictions. I am sure that you guys agree with all of them because they're very intelligent, of course. Now, please keep in mind that, yes, I know that some of those aren't provable. I know that there's really no way to know whether or not people think that Brock Lesnar, whether their haters will miss him. I know. There's no reason, whatever. That's my predictions. I really don't care. Goodbye!